So we're going to work on a cage now of large 5th Instar caterpillars. Some of them have jade up. One may have pupated already. And sanitizing before we open the cage and after we open the cage is just a way to make sure that we're all doing it the same and that we're not cross-contaminating. So I'll start by removing the caterpillars off the food that we gave them yesterday. And as they grow, their food requirement increases daily. And as I said earlier, 25 caterpillars is the maximum number that we can put in this size cage due to being able to put in enough milkweed when they have reached this level of maturity. So they're 5th Instar caterpillars. And all caterpillars are eating machines. They eat 24 hours a day unless they're molting. So we're going to be feeding them in the morning, and we want to make sure that there's enough food in here to get them through a 24-hour time period. So I'm going to do a little maintenance here, removing as much frass as I can from the grid and from the riser. This is when having another set of hands would be real handy, but I'm going to clean that off. The grid will keep the caterpillars off of the riser, so we don't need to have it spotless. Make a little workstation where I can set that off and let it balance itself. And now I can empty out as much frass as possible, but since there's a caterpillar on the side, don't want to be too rough or he could fall off. And if they fall in the trash, they go out with the trash. I'll add a new napkin, rebuild the cage with the riser and the grid, making sure that the caterpillars out of jade are not touching the riser. And now I'm going to start adding some food. And I also have to make sure that the food is not touching any caterpillars that might have jade up on the lid. This cage doesn't have any, so I can use tall pieces of food. And they can be bent over so that they will fit in the cage. The cats are going to climb up and start eating it from the top down. This piece is a little too long, so I'll shorten it up. Spread out my leaves so that they have access to it. And still add more food. Caterpillars at this stage are building body fat, which is what they need to have a longer life, to be good, strong, healthy caterpillars. You never want to cut back on food in an effort to get them to pupate quicker. It results in weak butterflies, small butterflies, and we want them to be big and healthy specimens. So I'm going to leave these cats on the food and remove the leaves that have been chewed. Once again, not moving the caterpillars or touching them unless necessary. So I'm just going to tuck them all in around the food that's just been added. This little guy, I'll just do the same old technique of cutting him down to a small piece, tucking him in. This one I can move. He's not molting. Tuck him in there where he's going to be right on fresh food. No reason to leave chewed up leaves that they're not going to eat, so the more I can remove now, the quicker they'll go onto that fresh food, which is what my intention is. Gonna tuck them in. And then I'm going to just take a visual look and make sure I've got enough food for them. Which there's a lot of milkweed in there. And then I can cover them back up and they're good to go.